Hi there. Welcome to Stocks Beyond Numbers channel. In today's episode, we'll take a look into what is happening with Uber stock. We will also review its business as well as some operational trends. Please note that on this channel we try to review information from official sources such as company reports, SEC filings, Investors' Day materials, or news published by reputable sources. In today's episode, we'll be mainly using information provided as part of Uber Investor Day materials released on February 10th of 2022. An ultimate goal of this episode is to help you get answers on the following questions. Why Uber stock has been down since its IPO? When Uber company will be profitable? What to expect from this stock in the future? Alright, enough talks. Let's get into it. First of all, let's take a quick look into Uber's business to see actual progress Uber has made in the past 10 years. As many of you know, Uber has publicly started its business by launching first version of its UberCab application in San Francisco, California in 2009. The initial version of this ride-hailing application was limited to ride-hailing services for just one category, a black luxury car. Now let me ask you this, how many of you know what constitutes Uber mobility service today? Today, Uber mobility services include many available types of transportation, including all kinds of cars, EVs, bikes, scooters, and car rentals. On top of that, Uber owns significant stakes in other businesses, including high-tech companies focused on developing aero taxi and autonomous driving. This unique strategy allows Uber to stay close to major developments in technology of the future, while focusing on its main efforts on becoming fully profitable business in foreseeable future. As many of you know, in addition to the mobility services, Uber also offers services in two other important segments, including delivery and freight. Uber's geography includes almost all key markets, and its services are available in 10,000 cities around the world. Despite skepticism surrounding investments into Uber Freight, this business segment actually has a lot of potential. Let's take a closer look. According to the data presented during Uber's Investor Day, total value of the global freight market is estimated to be $4 trillion, which also includes the US market estimated as $800 billion. To get some sense of this magnitude, let's look at the nominal GDPs of the world's 10 largest economies. As you can see, an amount of $800 billion actually represents half of the GDP of South Korea. Therefore, we can make a conclusion that Uber is already on its path of becoming one of the largest companies in the world, and there is significant upside potential for the Uber's freight services in the future. Since there are already many players in the freight segment, an obvious question that comes to our mind would be a question about Uber's major competitive advantage. I am sure many of you have heard or used Uber delivery service, which is contactless delivery for restaurant takeout, groceries, and many other items right to your door. To make this service unique and popular, Uber has developed its own platform not just for making delivery requests, but also for searching and ordering food, drinks, groceries from many popular food chains, restaurants and stores. While Uber Eats is relatively young, in the middle of COVID-19 outbreak, this platform became a bedrock of Uber's business due to large selection of cuisines, drinks, and also due simplicity of its use. In recent years, Uber has also expanded their business to include package deliveries from any place of your choice right to your door. Now let's combine all bits and pieces together. As you can see on the chart, which represents Uber's quarterly earnings, including first quarter of 2019 and last quarter of 2021, Uber had a significant drop in its revenue in the second quarter of 2020. As many of you may know, COVID-19 outbreak caused significant negative impact on many businesses, including Uber's mobility business, which was affected due to substantial drop in the ride-hailing requests at that time. Despite substantial challenges caused by COVID-19, right on this chart, we can see that Uber has transformed itself from ride-hailing company into food and drinks delivery business, which has been gradually exceeding mobility revenues from third quarter of 2020. On top of that, in the last quarter of 2021, we saw a significant increase in its freight revenue, which is a clear indication of the fact that Uber's long-term investment into freight segment is finally starting to pay off. There is no question, however, that there will be good times and bad times in Uber's business. Nevertheless, long-term trends in its business indicate that Uber is on a right track to success. Alright, we still need to answer one last question: when Uber will turn into profit? With the recent acquisition of Transplace, which is by the way one of the major logistic platforms in the US, Uber is now transforming itself into one of the largest freight platforms, which will include all steps from planning, selecting delivery terms, to actual delivery of goods, drinks or groceries right to your store, office, truck terminal or directly to your home. Uber's significant investments into building Uber Eats platform and also acquiring mission-critical players is one of the main reasons why Uber has been unprofitable since its IPO. While there are always many factors that affect stock performance in the long term, significant operational losses that Uber demonstrated in last 3 years is the main factor for a poor performance of its stock. Next important question that we need to discuss is about Uber's ability to become profitable in the foreseeable future. To answer this question, let's take a look on long-term operational trends. A quick answer to this question is that Uber has already reported positive adjusted EBITDA in the last quarter of 2021. As you can see, Uber has suffered significant losses since beginning of 2020, but in second and fourth quarter of 2021, Uber was able to generate at about 1 billion on adjusted EBITDA basis. While Uber's positive EBITDA in the second and fourth quarter was mainly attributed to investments into other businesses, Uber's executive management anticipates economy of scale to expand profitability and revenue growth. Looking ahead, Uber's management expects a steady cash flow from operational activities starting from the end of 2022, and finally achieving a stunning 5 billion mark on adjusted EBITDA basis in 2024. Alright, it's finally time for final thoughts. In this episode, we have discussed major outcomes from Uber's investment strategy focused on growing its business and gradually expanding its profitability in the long term. At this point, it's quite obvious that Uber is getting closer to a turning point, at which economies of scale will start providing steady cash flows, which will put this company on a sustainable path of making money. There is no doubts, however, that till that point in time, Uber stock will continue to be vulnerable to different external factors, including but not limited to inflation risks, ongoing recovery from COVID-19, and negative sentiment from institutional investors. I am sure it's not a secret that large institutional investors and wealth management organizations typically try to avoid unnecessary risks and allocate large amounts of capital for stable and predictable businesses such as Apple, Microsoft, and others. If you are not yet investing into Uber stock, its current price around $30 per share could be quite attractive entry point for a long-term investment. Some analysts expect that Uber's share price will double or triple by 2023 or 2024 or even sooner, depending on when Uber will start generating steady profits. Please, also do not forget that there is always a risk of unforeseen events. That is why it's important to diversify your investments across different types of assets. Keep in mind that Uber stock is definitely not an exception from this traditional approach of portfolio diversification. We will continue monitoring Uber stock on our channel, and if you find this video interesting and helpful, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. If you like this episode, please also do not forget to hit like button right down below. Your like will help many other users to find this video on a platform. If you have any questions or comments, please also feel free to share them right down below the video, in the comments section. If you prefer using email, you can also send your questions to stocksbeyondnumbers@gmail.com. Thanks a lot for watching this video till the end.